What if the biggest decision of your career was never made by a person? Imagine this. You spend hours perfecting your resume for it to be scanned, scored, and possibly rejected in seconds by an algorithm. Now flip the script. Candidates are using AI to write those resumes, while companies deploy AI to filter them out. This is all raising the stakes for companies and candidates alike in the hiring process. Welcome to Between the Lines, Career Management's video series where we take a deep dive into the latest trends in insurance. From ghost job postings to AI-generated candidates, from invisible screening systems to questions of bias and accountability, this episode pulls back the curtain on how hiring really works in the age of the algorithm. We'll hear from experts such as Akine Akwibo, Chief Operating Officer at Socotra, and Madeline Mann, HR leader and founder of Self Made Millennial. I'm also curious what patterns you're seeing right now in job seekers, because as we talked about, it's a difficult market right now. There's a lot that's changing. Are they feeling empowered by AI and technology, or confused and overwhelmed, or a little bit of both?
In some ways, there is this invigoration of, oh, there's all these tools out there. A lot of them have free trials, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to apply to 60 jobs a day with one click of these tools. I'm going to rewrite my resume. Ooh, that felt so much easier. All these types of things, which depends on the tool, depends on what you're doing, could just be something that feels good versus is actually improving your chances. You can actually see probably from the statistics of what percentage of roles you're landing and the number of offers you're landing can paint a very clear picture of that. But on the other hand, I'm also hearing a lot of fear is, oh, I'm not landing jobs because my resume is going through an AI filter of some sort. And that's the issue. And so we hear a lot of talk about that, and that is people's biggest fear is, oh no, I'm building my resume with a robot and then it's going to another robot and that robot hates me. And so it's spitting it back out, right? And so there's this whole narrative that's being invented.
Yeah, that's interesting because we hear that a lot, sort of the battle of the AI bots. And whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I know that there is a lot of fear and hesitancy, as you said. And a lot of your content teaches candidates how to stand out. So has anything changed about what it means to stand out in a job market that's relying more heavily on AI?
So what we've noticed is that trust is at an all-time low. And you can very clearly see when someone is mass applying, and especially using AI, just these AI-generated cover letters that all sound the same, these resumes that just seem to just be very verbose and kind of word salady and all this kind of stuff. You can just tell that this person potentially didn't really think about applying to this specific role. So actually the human side of the job search just got vastly more important. Anyone just needs to put themselves in that position, right? All of us feel spam inundated with things that aren't real, comments that aren't real, emails that aren't real. And so even now, focusing a bit more on the relationships, focusing less on also this hyper professional type speak. I even teach my clients when they're sending emails, right? Instead of sending an email to a hiring manager that says, hello, to whom it may concern, I hope this email finds you well. I do have interest in this role. No, instead, it's actually much higher likelihood, especially now, that you'll get a response if you say something like, hi, name. I talked to Elizabeth, who is on your team, and she said great things about working for you. And so when I saw this open role, I wanted to make sure I reached out, right? Already, that sounds so much more human. That sounds so much more real. And so shifting our mindset to how can I actually have a higher touch and a lower volume, I've seen that work a lot better.
Because in a world where machines are making decisions about people, the real question is no longer who gets hired. It's who or what technology is doing the hiring.